Welcome again to Dupi Animations, y'all. And today we are going to be creating a TV ident I did a while ago. The ident that's played in the opening. This. Okay, so now let's break it down. And I'm going to use the letter D to demonstrate. Okay, so with my logo exported into Photoshop, I'll select the magic wand, then select the logo, hold the shift key, then select it well. All right? Okay. Then come here, the mask path. All right? Then select the outline. Okay? This. So after this, just export it as AI. Okay? All right. So now, with the logo exported as AI, open the Cinema 4D, all right? Then click and drag it into the software. Then click OK, all right? So this, our outline, okay? So let me go to the orthographic view, then adjust it well. Okay, so let me select it here. Then here, adaptive, let me change it to natural. Okay, then the number of copies here, let me make it 50 so that the outline will be smooth a bit. Okay, so now let me position the letter. Let me move it here, align it to the others here. Okay, let me align it on the others here. All right, so this is okay. All right. So now let me go to the perspective view. Okay. So from here, the next thing to do is to rotate the outline. So let me rotate it on y-axis. Let me rotate it on y-axis. Something like -90. Okay. So that it will lie on the floor. All right. Now go and select the extrude. Extrude. Then drop it inside the extrusion. Okay, then give it an extrusion depth of something like 100. I think 100 will be okay. Let me go the other way. 100. Okay, this way. Okay, so now I have this. Let me change the display to Gorad shading lines. Okay, so now we have this, okay? So let's name this one base. Let's name it base. Okay, so you have base here. Okay, so now let's duplicate the outline here. Hold the command key, then click and drag, okay? Then select sweep nerve, okay? Then drop it inside, all right? Then go and select an outline, a rectangular outline. Then give it something like, let's see. Let me give it a width of something like 5. Then a height of something like, let me make it 50. A height of 50. Then drop it inside. Okay. So we have this. Then let me pull it up. Okay. All right. Now you can round the edge if you want. You can round the edge if you want. Let me make it 2. So we have something like this. Let me name the sweetener belt. Okay, let me name it belt. Okay, so that it will be easier to understand. All right. Now duplicate belt. Hold the command key, then duplicate it. Okay, so we have a second belt. All right. Now let me pull this up to the top of base. Then let me see the height. Let me go to the rectangle, then reduce the height to something like, let me see, well, let me check 10 first. Then let me make it 5, the height 5, so that it will be 5 first. And if what I'm trying to do, I'm not satisfied, then I'll still reduce it. So we have something like this. Okay. Okay, I think Let me reduce the rounded edge. Let me reduce the rounded edge. Then make it something like 4 4 4 4. The width and the height 4 4. I think this is okay. This is okay. So let me name this one ring. All right? Ring. Okay. So now we have this. All right? Okay. So now when you check the animation, it peels off from the floor. All right? When it peels off from the floor, it rises from the ground before the rest come into play. Okay? So now with this setup, I'm going to off them. Okay? I'm going to off them, then duplicate base. Hold the command key, then duplicate base, then off the top one. So the bottom one, let me give it an extrusion depth of something like, let me see, 10. 10 is too big, so let me make it 5. Okay, 5 is enough. So with 5, let me come to the caps, then change from n-gons to quadrangles. Okay, then make it regular grade. All right, so this is okay. Regular grade is okay. Okay, you can let me reduce it to something like 8 or so. So this is okay. All right, now the next thing to do is drop a deformer, a bend deformer into it. So I'll select the deformer, the bend, then drop it inside. Then place the outline on top of it so that the bend will be under the outline. Okay, let's do a little bit settings here. All right, so with the bend deformer, let's give it a coordinate of something like let me come to coordinates. Okay, let me leave this for first. Let me come to objects. All right, then on objects, size, let me make size 10. The beginning, this one, something like 400. Then this one, let me make it 410. Okay. Then rotation, let me give it minus 90, so that it will lie on the floor. Okay. So we have this. Okay, let me come to coordinates again. Then rotation, let me make it minus 70. All right. So that it will peel off from the tip of the D here. Okay, so now I'm come to objects and increase the strength and see. Okay, so let me move the bend in so that it will be at the tip here. Let me go something like 180 and see. Okay, so let me see. All right. So let me go 200. Okay, so this is perfect. Okay, so now let me name the top one white. Then duplicate it. Hold the command key, then click and drag. Then name this one red. Okay, so the animation here, it was 3. You see, a white came, then red, then white again. Okay, but for time's sake, let's limit it to 2. Okay, so let me just delete the red first, then animate the white, then duplicate. So the white here, what I'm going to do is animate the white. Okay, so to animate, we are going to use the position of the bend. Okay, so maybe I'll set a key to all the stopwatch, then move the timeline to something like 30 seconds, then stand on Y, then move it to move the pail away. Okay, then set a key again. So you have something like this. Too fast. It's too fast, so I'll open it up to something like 50. So it will be a bit slower. Okay, let me say 60. Okay, 60 is okay. So let me increase the number of frames here. Let me make it 290. So first, this will come. All right. So now from here you can duplicate it. Hold the command key, then duplicate the white, then make the bottom one red. Name it red. Okay. Then lay it under this one. Okay. You see that? Just drag it down a bit. You see? So when this one peels off, it also peels after it. So to do that, on red, select the bend, then select the 2 key points, then move it to something like 20, so that when this one peels, it follows. Too far away, so let me come to the middle here so that it will be a bit closer. Okay, I think, let me see. Now, okay, this is okay. So it will be like this. Okay, so that it will follow like that. Okay. All right, so now we have this. So now what we are going to do next is this. We are going to animate the base. First, let's duplicate the base. Okay. On one. Okay. What we are going to do is we are going to use the boolean to carve a hole under it. Okay. So let me off these animations. Then bring this base under. Okay. So now let's create the floor. So let me pick a solid layer. Let me give it something like 1200. The height is too much. Okay. Okay. So you have this. So now let's select the boolean 2. Let me come here, then select bool. Then drop the base, the duplicated base 1, and the cube into it. Okay. Okay. Let me increase this thing to something like 200. 20. 2000. Okay, so we have this. Yeah, that's a hole being punched there. Okay, it's not showing well, so let me give it an ambient occlusion, a bit of ambient occlusion, so that it will show well. Okay, so you see that. All right. So with that done, let me bring it under. Okay, so we are going to animate this. Where is it? The base coming out from the ground. Okay, we are going to animate the base coming out from the ground. Let me pull the boolean down a bit. Something like this is okay. Okay, so now the base. Okay. Let me off this thing first. So when the two surface peels, the white and the red peels, then the base will come out from the ground. Okay, so this is the base. Let me set an ending key for it. Then move the timeline backwards. Then move it down so that it will enter the hole. Okay, so somewhere like this. So once it peels off, then it comes out. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. See that? Once it peels off, then you see when the two peels off, when the red and the white peels off, then the base comes up from the ground. Okay, you see that? You see? All right. So basically, this is how I did the setup. Okay. So So now the next thing to do is this, is the covering. You see, when it comes, the red that lays on it, that particular red. You see the red that comes to cover it. Okay, that's what we are going to do now. Okay. So now to do that, let me just duplicate the white. Let me duplicate the white, hold the command key, duplicate the white, then pull it up. Okay. Now let me take the bend away so that I will set another one. So let me pull it up. Okay. So I'll give it an extrusion depth of something like 1. I think 1 will be okay. Okay, 1 is okay. An extrusion depth of 1. Okay, and bring it under a bit. Okay, so now I have this. Okay, so with this duplicated, let me come to the caps. Then on regular grade width, let me increase it so that we space out a bit, something like 12. 14 is okay. So now let's apply explosion to it, explosion FX. Okay. So let's drop it inside. Let me name this one top so that we won't confuse ourselves. Okay. So now let me drop it inside and under the outline. Okay. So that it will be under the outline. Okay. You see what's going on here. Once I drop the explosion inside, see what's going on. Okay. So now let me come to the explosion attributes, the coordinates. Okay, then let me give it a size of something like 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, okay, 0.5, so that it will space out a bit. All right, let me come to objects, then time, let me give time something like 13, let me see 0.3, okay, 13 is okay. So let me come to the explosion. Let's leave explosion as it is. Let me come to cluster and see whether I'll do some changes here. Thickness. So let me put thickness at 0.5. Okay, 0.5. Cluster type. Let me change it to polygons. Polygons. Let me come to gravity, acceleration. Let me make it 20. And make its direction y world is okay. Let me come to, let me see, rotation. Let me leave the rotation, then come to special wind. Let me come to -20, then twist variation, something like 50. Okay. All right. So now let's see what we have input here, whether it will work. Okay. You see, even this one, I've added a bit of style to it. The previous one, when I did it, I did not add a depth or thickness to it. I just made it flat. Okay, so you see this one, there's a bit of depth within it, which is giving it some kind of glow, shine on top of it. Okay. So this one, I love the way this one is looking. So from here, you can just animate it. Okay, so let me start from here. So I think I'll just move the explosion. So we'll come to coordinates, then sets. So when this one moves away, then the base come up. That's when you animate the explosion. Okay, so you set a key at 50, all right? Then move it to something like 70. Then move our explosion FX to set this in the checkers on top of it. Okay, you see that? Then end it. So you have something like this. Too fast. So I'll just open the timeline. Too slow. Let me see. So let me see this. Okay, so this is okay. See, once it goes away, the pills goes away, then the checkers come and set in. You see that? You see? You see that? But the animation I did previously, the idents I created, I moved the explosion Y on top a bit. So when it comes in from afar. You see it from afar. Or let me set the D well so that you see how it came in. This one came in a bit even faster. You see? So if you are not satisfied with this, you can still work on the explosion. Okay, you can set it well. Okay, you can set it well. You see this? You see? Okay. So basically, this is how I did it. Okay. So let me set a camera and lock down this face first. Okay. Let me lock down this face. Okay. So with this, we have done majority of the work here. All right. So let me see the middle here. Now let's on the ring. The ring here is for the top. Animating the top. Okay. You see, the top is for the top here. Then the belt is for the middle here. So let's apply some colors. Let me just insert some materials. Then come here. So red. Okay, let me go red. Let me see. Reflection. Let me use reflection legacy. Roughness. Let me take it to 0. Reflection strength. Let me go something like this. Let me change the material to a rounded, a double toroidal soft shadow, which I like using. So let me select this one, then drop. This is for the belt. Let me apply it to the belt. Okay. So let me check. Okay. Not bad. The ring 2 must carry red. And the top, which is the checker, must also carry red. So that you have something like this. When it goes, you see. I love the feel of this one more. Okay, if I'm redoing that particular ident right now, I think this is the style I will go for. So that this kind of reflection will be on top of it. Okay. See that? So now let's animate the ring here. Okay, let me check. Okay. So with the end growth, let's go 0. So let's see when it wipes to here. Let me set the end growth, a key here, hold the command. Let me hold the command key, then set a key on the stopwatch, then move the timeline to something like 70, then go 100. Okay, 100, then end the key. Okay, so we have something like this. Too slow. So let me move it to 20 so that it will come in a bit faster. Let me open it up. So that's from here. Okay. So now let me work on the base, the belt. The belt to the same thing. Okay, the belt to the same thing. It's the same thing we are doing to the belt. The belt, we start animation from the outline, outermost one. Okay, so the end growth, let's go 100. We are starting from 100, then set a key. Then let me see 60. 60, then go 0. The end growth goes 0. So we have something like this. Let me see something. Okay. See that? This tutorial is getting longer than I thought. So we have this. Okay. So it wipes. This one wipes. Then this one follow. Okay. So the bottom one is red. Okay, let me just duplicate this material. Then make this one white. Okay. White. Then this one, let me name this one red. So this one, the white one, let me change the color. Let me give it a white color. Okay. So let me drop white onto this. Then this one, red. Okay, so we have something like this. So the boolean or bool, let me drop white to it. Okay. So let me move the white and the red so that they will be in line with the floor. Okay. Right now it looks like the white is on top of the floor. Let me make it be in line with the floor so that you won't see that visibility. It will merge with it. Let me see if we have it. We're a bit closer, but we take it like that for now. Okay, so we have this. So let's play and see. Okay. The middle one, which is the base, is the glass. So let me duplicate this. Hold the command key, then click and drag. So let me name this one glass. Okay. Let me just let me come to transparency. Okay. Then reflection. Let me go something like 0.24. 1.24. Okay. Let me see. For the glass, I'm creating the glass. So let me see how it looks like first. Okay. So this is taking longer than I thought. All right. So not to waste time, what I would do is I'll just show the style. Okay. As for the material applications, I might do a tutorial on material application in another time. So for now, let me just show the style. All right. Okay. So the middle there, the base there, I apply glass to it and drop in a bit of color inside the glass. All right. So let me leave it like this for now. Okay. So basically, this is how I did the setup. And I think, let me see. The lines animating, all these, the lines animating is done by sweep nerve. Okay. Just to use a circular, or let me just do one example. Okay. Maybe I'll pick, let me use the circle 2, then lay it on the floor. Lay it on the floor. Okay. So this is the circle. All right. Let me increase the size a bit. So I have something like this. All right. So what I did was I use the sweep nerve, drop it inside. Okay. Then select another circle again. Or you can just duplicate this one. You can just duplicate this one. Then this one will reduce the size to something like maybe 5. 5 is still too big. So maybe 1. Okay. So like this. Then you lay it on the floor. Okay. You lay it on the floor there. Then you animate them. Okay. You see? So you just animate it like that. You set a key, move the timeline to something like 30, then go 100. Okay. So just like that, you see that? Then the second one, I created a line. the same thing, sweep the lines to animate those things. So it's not difficult, actually. All right? You see? So let me see. These things are all sweep nerves. The lines. They are all sweep nerves. Animating. Okay. Okay, you see that? You see that? All right. Now let's go back to our main. All right. So this is how I did the phase 1. Now the phase 2, which is the ending. Let's copy. Let me just copy this one. The top. Let me just copy the top. Copy. Then let me create a new window. New. Then paste it here. Okay. Then let me delete the effects from it. Okay. So you have this. So let me bring it down. Let me bring it down a bit more. So now we are doing the ending. So now, that particular one, we use the bend tool, the bend deformer, okay? So let me select the bend deformer, then drop it inside top. So it will be under the spline, okay? Let me go the same settings here, 10 for the X, then the Y, something like 400, then the Z, something like 410. All right. Then come to coordinates, then rotate it on -90. Okay. So that it will lay on the floor with this. All right. You come to objects, then change from limited to unlimited. All right. So now let's see what we have. You see? You see? You see, bends it well. Okay. Nicely. Okay. So now what we do is simple. Just pull it up. Use the bend to pull this up. You see? You see, once you are pulling it up, it's expanding. All right? So that's what we are going to do. So first, let me see. Let's make the ending animation here. Okay? Something like 70. All right? So let me see. Let me change the R rotation, the X, to something like, let me give it a figure of 300 so that there'll be a bit of rotation within. So now let's set a key here on all 70. Then move the timeline backwards. Then move it up. Okay, you just move it up. Then go here, -60. 60. Okay. Then set a key there. So you have something like this. You see? At the beginning here, you can come something like 90. So that it will lay on the floor in a way. So 90. Then set a key. So you have something like this. You see that? Okay. We are finished animating the bend. Now we are selecting the top. Okay. Now we set a key here. Then move the timeline backwards. Then the top, we move it up. You see? Then set a key. So once it's coming, it's rotating and doing stuff, then come and land. Okay? Now after this, come to bend again, then come to strength. That is where we animate the strength. From here to here. The strength from here, when it reaches here, I want it to start animating. So from here, I set a key, then come to something like 80, then go 0. So now let's see what we have. You see that? So basically, this is how I did the ending setup as well. Okay? If you feel like what you have here is not enough for you, you can still animate by rotating it. Okay? I set it up just like this. then position it here. I think it's easy. So from here, I hope you can all create this. And please do experiment with this. I'm sure when you experiment more with this, you can come up with more interesting stuff. Okay? As for the particles on it, it's just a meter. I just drop these polygonal things inside a meter that's moving across. Okay? That's right. So you see how it came in slowly, then land there. Okay. All right. So folks, from here I think we are done. I hope you can try your hands on and let me know what you come up with. Even far nicer than mine. All right? See you next time.